Yes, kicking us off, samples from phones of 20 doctors have revealed more than 2,000 microbes of germs. So this is your bacteria, your fungi, your viruses, pretty much saying that your phones are really, really dirty, and it's almost recommended to clean them about 5 times a day.
Right.
So this is I guess this is the same kind of feeling people expected when they found out escalator handles or elevator buttons had all germs on them. It is coming out now that phones are quite dirty, quite filthy, quote unquote a petri dish for germs, and it should be cleaned regularly.
How many times do you reckon you've cleaned it since having it?
How many times do I clean my phone?
Yeah.
Oh, barely ever. I don't know. Maybe once, right?
Really?
Yeah, I don't really clean it with a cloth or anything.
Right, I probably do like once a week because I've got the clear case. I can see how dirty it gets.
Yeah,
and
see,
it irks me.
Never do it.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so yeah, definitely something.
Did you say 5 times a day though?
Yeah, 5 times
ridiculous.
a day. So that's the guy.
No one's got that much time on their hands.
Well, that's the guy publishing the articles, so he's obviously going to be at the top of it, is definitely the most concerned. But yeah, he recommended about 5 times a day, grabbing a cloth and wiping your phone. In other news, over in Denmark, scientists have developed a new drug that mimics the effects of running a 10-kilometer marathon, but with no effort. So one of these crazy ideas that you can sit on the couch, pop a pill, and then get the same metabolic reaction to your body as if you're running a marathon. And it's great for people who have a weak heart, or maybe they have weak limbs and bones and things like that, and they can't exercise that much, and it's trying to mimic those effects for weight loss.
There you go. Hey, Callum, turning to sport. Looking at the Sheffield Shield, New South Wales versus South Australia over in the cricket. We had Travis Head hit 30 with 2 sixes. Alex Carey got 90 runs. But Nathan Lyon sparked the comeback for New South Wales, getting a 3 for 3 wickets last night, on the game. So currently SA trail by 139 runs. We're in stumps.
Jeez, we're in good hands.
Callum, I'm not sure if you've heard about this around the office. It's the latest bit of office gossip.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Love a bit of office gossip. I do.
I know the Fresh fam loves a bit of office gossip as well. Our boss, Sophie, she's kind of almost been catfished the other day.
Oh, wow. Okay. So get the cameras out. The TV show's getting a revival.
So what happened? She was talking to a colleague of ours, Diego, on Snapchat, right? And they were talking for weeks over Snapchat. And then one day, Sophie came up to Diego in the office and said something that they had been talking about on Snapchat. Diego's response is, huh? She's like, like that thing. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Turns out some random guy, also named Diego, had just added Sophie's Snapchat.
Whoa.
She added back, assuming it's Diego from the
work.
office.
Yeah.
And they've been talking for weeks.
What, messaging Snapchat Diego, oh, have you got those files done? Have you got those reports? What's the other guy thinking? Yeah, sure, I guess.
No idea how it went on for that long, but somehow they managed weeks of conversation without mentioning work once.
Do you reckon Internet Diego, fake Diego, thinks
Fake
that
Diego.
all of the office jargon is some sort of flirting? Just, yes, I got the documents.
Role play.
You want to see me in your office? Sure. What's going on? Surely someone had to realise at some point.
Well, eventually they did. I think it went on for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so plenty of conversations to be had there. Curious, have you ever been catfished?
So not in that sense, but I guess we do want to extend this to, it could be things like marketplace. Have you bought something, got catfished, it's not the product you want, stuff like that. It could be cars, whatever. I remember I bought a keyboard online, like a musical keyboard, and a bunch of the notes were broken, so you couldn't play everything that you wanted to play.
Oh, really?
So half the keyboard was busted. So if someone were to request, hey, play Chopsticks, I'd be like, do another one. Go on, give me another one. That's too easy.
It looks like you're really bad at the keyboard.
I only operate on 2 notes, 2 fingers.
Hey, we want to throw it to you, Fresh fam. Have you ever been catfished? It doesn't have to be from the dating scene. It can be you were catfished on Facebook Marketplace like Callum was. Maybe you were catfished into the car that you wanted to go buy. You went and saw it and it was just completely different.
Lemon, how about Temu, the classic getting stuff online, it comes back smaller, comes back bigger. There are so many different examples of getting catfished.
Plenty of texts coming through right now on the text line. Someone said, said, met up with a bloke on a dating site who claimed to be 30, my age. Definitely was 50 and wearing a baseball cap to look younger from Alicia.
Yeah, rocking the baseball cap. Skateboard under the arm as well. No, I don't have a car. Hop on the handles of my BMX.
Come hang out in my mum's basement.
I got vinyls. That one is dodgy. I love this one here. Bought a terrific car recently from Marketplace 3 months ago. Love it. Took it for a service last week. Need 2 new rear shockers. Found out not only are they $1,400 each just for the parts, but the manufacturer does not sell them anymore, and there is no part available, so I may as well set it on fire. Probably don't do that. It's a 2017 model, so not very old. That sucks.
A 2017 model, they're not even making the parts for it anymore.
Yeah, what a
That's
jip.
rough.
I feel like you would get catfish with cars a fair bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Justin's texted in here saying, I matched with a girl on Tinder. All that happened was I got a pre-written response and finally a link to promote her OnlyFans.
Jeez, heartbroken, Justin. Send my regards to you. Love this one here. I was talking to a guy on Tinder, talking for a few weeks, and I asked to hang out a few times, but he always had some sort of reason not to. Finally got him to see me, and it was a completely different person. Used his friend's photos and name from Julia.
Do you reckon it was like a wingman account set up? And
Maybe.
then he fell for Julia. That sounds like a rom-com right
Well,
there.
it almost sounds like you should just go for the friend whose pictures they actually are. Tee it up with the actual mate.
Got another text here. One of those scorching hot summers a few years back, bought a kiddie pool off Marketplace for me to have beers in. Full of holes, had to drive to the beach.
Holes in the story, holes in the kiddie pool. It's all happening there. And we got this one here. I was messaged by someone on Facebook claiming to be Chase from Chase and Status, who asked for $1,000 to fly back to the UK. Obviously not real and just wanted to scam me to get some money. Yeah, because Chase from Chase and Status would not be in a financial drought where he couldn't get back home, I'm sure.
Is his name actually Chase? What, is the other guy's name Status?
Yeah, I've done a quick Google on the wiki.
Hey, we're heading over to Christie's Beach. We got Tina on the line. Tina, have you been catfished? Tell us what happened.
I have been catfished. I got absolutely gypped. I bought a packet of biscuits, keen for a little sweet treat. I opened it up and there was nothing in it.
Nothing. No biscuits whatsoever, not one.
No, and it broke my heart. I got all the way home, found out there was nothing in there.
Tina, what kind of bickies are we talking about? Chocolate teddy bears, chocolate Scotch fingers?
Chocolate Scotch fingers, actually.
Oh,
Well, at least,
the best kind of biscuit in my eyes.
Light on the calories, I guess. Nothing in there.
I'd be absolutely livid. Those things aren't cheap either.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I would rather get catfished on Tinder than have someone rob me of my biscuits.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to you, Tina.
This would have to be one of the craziest finds I've ever seen in my life. And it comes from a cemetery over in Portsmouth in England.
Yeah,
a bloke
right.
has just got fined. He's in trouble. He's in the cemetery with his mates, and he's started doing this around the place. Giving a bit of a ghostly sound effect over there.
Or is he a Scooby-Doo villain?
And you know what? I think he
Get
had...
out of my cemetery.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he had a bit of a ghost mask going on, but what possesses someone to just go in a cemetery, start doing this? You know, does he have a girlfriend at home just being like, oh, where is he tonight? I've cooked dinner. I was out scaring the locals, the villagers.
Yeah. I'm gone out to play social sport,
Yeah.
hon.
Little do you know your boyfriend's a complete weirdo that hangs out in cemeteries trying to spook people.
Maybe he's got a bunch of cash hidden somewhere in a grave there and he has to scare people away.
I've got to protect it.
Yeah.
You know what the fine was?
What?
$42. You know,
That's the spookiest part about it all.
going up to a cashier and not being able to pay for something is a scene straight out of hell. I mean, the scrambling, the panic. And usually, to be fair, it's a cashier that really doesn't care. Probably giving them a load off anyway. They like the relaxation of having a little bit of a pause, a bit of a break.
Yeah.
But it is always a little bit awkward. And
It's because of all the people behind you.
yeah. And
I
you're
had
holding them.
Just the other night, I was at Foodland and I was behind a guy who couldn't remember his PIN code
Oh,
trying to
God.
do the weekly shop. And all I had was a frozen pizza.
Just yelling at him, use the Face ID.
I ended up having to go to a different line.
Yeah, awkward for him too, seeing everyone dip off behind him.
Yeah.
I must be pretty slow. But
It's a worse feeling.
yeah, and this happened with my roommate the other day. I was lounging out at home on a Saturday.
Right.
Doing absolutely nothing.
As
which
you
is
do.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And she comes barging home demanding that I go to the shops with her. Like, why?
What is the image you're trying to paint of your poor housemate? Comes barging home, demands me to pay for
With
it.
some warlock just bashing through the door.
Rent is due.
I know. But yeah, have to go to the shops because she has tried to pay for everything and it has not gone through. So I had to use my card.
Right, so what, she left... Did you have to redo the whole shop when you got back there?
So when we went back to the shop there and went up to the table, I had an inspection of everything that was left by the cashier at the table. The cashier, she left everything for her.
Right.
And it was just the assortment of Fruit Loops and, chocolate wafers and stuff like that.
So
Imagine
it wasn't
that.
an important shop.
Imagine
it didn't have to be rushed back to the shop to pay for it.
Imagine the embarrassing, yes, I'm here to claim the Cocoa Pops and all the other junk assortments. So couldn't pay for it, had to go all the way back, do a massive drive, about 15 minutes to and from just to pay for all this stuff.
What couldn't you pay for, Adelaide? I had a similar deal recently. I was in a nightclub probably a couple months ago now, and my phone had died.
Yeah.
And I thought, crap, how am I going to get home with a dead phone? So, I didn't have any cash.
Yeah.
It's a digital age. I need to transfer money around to be able to even, pay for a taxi. So I've gone to the bartender there and I've asked if I could charge my phone, to which their response was, oh yeah, no worries, just $10, thanks.
Well, they wanted to charge you for the charger.
$10 to charge my phone at this nightclub.
Is that even a thing, or is that just some dodgy bartender saying, oh yeah, just chuck me a tenner and then I'll do it for you?
Dunno.
Surely that's not
Dunno.
a thing at the actual nightclub.
What I told him, I was desperate to get home at this point. I was done for the evening. I was like, look, I can't pay you because my phone's dead, but if I charge my phone, then I can pay you. And they said, no, I need to get the $10 before I can put it on charge. I'm like, how am I meant to get home with a dead phone? I can't.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just stay here and I'm not going to be spending any money. You may as well charge my phone.
Will you take a napkin with IOU scribbled on it with a nearby pen?
Here's my home address.
Come find me if you need the money.
Eventually, they charged my phone. I split before they charged me $10 because
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Good stuff. Rebel without a cause.
Simply won't do it. Somebody texted through here saying, a few years ago, my card wasn't working when I went to buy toilet paper. Someone nice enough ended up buying it for me from Elijah.
See, that is a necessity. That's something that you will have to pay for. And kudos to the person behind them. Good Samaritan over there. Got this one here. I've had a few payments for my gym bounce back and had to deal with the embarrassment of scanning my membership at the front, then scrambling to make payments so they let me in. You don't want to be a scrambler.
Nah.
Don't bring yourself to scrambling level, especially at the gym.
This one this one I think applies to most people of this age. I'm a broke 20-year-old. I can't pay for anything.
Yeah, that's how it is when you're 20. Wouldn't expect most 20-year-olds to be able to pay for much. Love this one here from Harry. Both my front windows of my car don't roll down. Every time I need to go through anything that requires me to open a window, I need to open my door. I'm too stingy to get it replaced.
That happened to a guy who works here, our social media man, Gavin. His old car, the window used to not go down, so he used to drive up way past the toll gate, open the car, get out of the car, scan his little thing, and get back into the car. It just seems like a hassle.
It's a whole process.
But then again, I also don't know how expensive it can be to fix. Hey, got a big text come through here. About 15 years ago, I was at work at a gala event that had an auction during the night. Needless to say, the drinks package was thoroughly enjoyed. I woke up the next morning and said to my sister, did I win a holiday to Bali last night?
Cool.
She turned to me and said, oh, that's what you remember. Not exactly. The happy lady down the back in the pink dress bid for a 2-night stay in a Hindmarsh Island for 8 people that included a wheelbarrow of beer. And then when you were asked to pay for your win, your card declined and we all had to chip in to cover you. You owe each of us at the table $300.
You'd wake up thinking, was that a nightmare last night that I have to fork out $300 for all of my mates?
Well, she woke up thinking she won it.
So yeah, for a mate's birthday, went to buy a round of 10 shots for our group. We went way over budget. The birthday boy ended up paying. What a birthday ruiner, right?
That is the worst.
Having a party is all well and good, but there's some logistical stuff though, and what a pain it is when you're doing a house party and all the businessy stuff that you have to handle.
The businessy stuff
The business
of having
end.
a party. Okay.
Exactly. So one of them that griped me a little bit. So my roommate and I had a party on Saturday.
Roommate or secretary?
Monica Lewinsky kind of style. No, it was just my roommate, mate of mine. So we were both doing a belated birthday together, belated 25th, and we decided to do a hangover, like the movie kind of theme, Vegas. So a few poker tables, tiger in the bathroom, kind of stuff like that.
Of course, remember to gamble responsibly.
Of course. And we were doing this theme for the party, and it got to the point where we thought we should probably give some notes to the close surrounding neighbours just to say, hey, look, heads up, there's a party that's going to happen in a few days' time. Could be a little bit loud, but it'll wrap up maybe 12:30.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that was never going to happen. Yeah. If I know your business.
No, we were pretty in check. But so I had to hand out this note to one of the neighbours. One of them was particularly awkward because I'd had a party the week before. So not only did I have to apologise to him for that one.
What, did they kick up a stink about the last one?
Yeah, because he yelled over the fence. He was like, Oi! I turned around, I was like, what? And he's like, oh, you're being really loud. I had to apologise then. And then a few days later, of course, went over, said, hey, sorry for the party the other night. By the way, there's an even worse one coming Saturday.
I would hate to be your neighbour.
I would too. I know I'm going to get karma when I'm 40 years old and I'm living next to some idiot.
Yeah. It'll be your son.
Yeah, probably. In the granny flat. So I had to schmooze him and whatever, but I had these notes made by my roommate Tamara to give to the neighbours.
Sure, okay.
These notes pretty much outlining when it's all going to finish. It's going to be a little bit loud, stuff like that.
Just the logistics of the business, yeah.
Oh, exactly right. And after the party, so a few days later this week, I've actually had an inspection of what the notes say because I didn't look at it before.
You didn't read the note that you handed out?
I didn't read it.
So
I just grabbed it.
You've been given a note to hand out. You haven't read it. You've handed it out. It could have said anything.
Could have said anything, but I trust my roommate that it's all good and it's going to have all the stuff for that night. I thought, yep, just give it to the neighbours, all good. I've had a look at it. She said it's an engagement party. Just because her theory was...
No one's going to bust down an engagement party.
If it's a sentimental engagement party, no one's going to call the cops or anything like that and we'll get away with it. There were people on the front lawn holding a baby attached to their chest like Alan from The Hangover.
Not a real baby.
No.
What word got you in trouble?
Yep.
Bit of a risky topic, but we're looking at this story that's come out where a common Aussie phrase has gotten a retail worker in a bit of strife.
Yep.
So this woman, she works in the deli section of a fruit and veg store, and customer comes up to her and she used the term mate, as most people do, being like, g'day mate, how can I help you? Or how can I help you, mate?
Of course.
Something along those lines, to which the customer replied to her, can I tell you something? Don't call me mate.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Seems a bit un-Australian, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
got offended. So she apologised, said, I'm sorry if I've offended you. Didn't mean anything by it. And then the customer replies saying, it's just unprofessional for the term to be used in the workplace.
Yeah,
the term
right.
mate to be used in the workplace.
Offended-
What a stick in the mud.
Offended by the word mate. Do you reckon this person watches Crocodile Dundee and thinks, geez, this should be MA. This should be an R-rated movie.
What an unprofessional guy.
All the profanity in that Crocodile Dundee flick. The mate was off the charts.
Mick Dundee. Public enemy number one.
Yeah. Imagine living your life thinking mate is really, really offensive to the point where you tell a cashier, hey, you need to stop that. And unfortunately, I guess, if you report it to their boss, you're going to have to implement it there. Otherwise, other people could say the same thing.
Yeah, a bunch of people on Reddit were saying, giving their point of view on it. So somebody saying, it's casual, but it's not unprofessional, rude. Australian culture is a casual culture. Customers who find the word mate problematic are looking for something to whinge about.
Right, and what else do you
Get on.
want? Do you want to be called cobber at the shops? Probably not. Well, there's worse, more embarrassing things, right?
Yeah, but we're taking a risk here. We're going to the text line. What word got you in trouble? Somebody's said they work in hospo events specifically and said that's skibbity to a 70-year-old and then got an earful from their manager.
Really? I mean, skibbity's annoying, sure,
It's
but
annoying.
is a 70-year-old going to go out and complain about that? Like, why?
Also, why are you even saying it to a 70-year-old? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're just
I'm
trying to-
sorry to side with the manager on this one. But, like, the 70-year-old's not going to know what's going on. Saying that skibbity, it could sound like an insult.
Maybe, yeah. 70-year-old's going to be absolutely baffled on that one. This one here, one of my nurse friends got in trouble for continuously saying slay to patients.
Ugh.
For example, oh, your blood pressure's slay. Nobody understood what she meant, and she scared one of the elderly patients. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'd be annoyed by that as well. My blood pressure is not slay. Just tell me what's the
Just
over and
please.
under.
This is a thing that actually needs to be specific and not measured on slayer meters. Just go for it.
How about this one? Back in year 12, yelled out, "Shut the front door," and got berated by the teacher.
Yeah, good one. Good one.
would.
You would. Called a work colleague a loser under my breath. Got an HR report. Loser's such a,
That's
once
a
again,
scathing word.
a primary school one, but if you bring it to the workplace, yeah, some people are going to get a little bit cross with you.
I think being called a loser is worse than being called a lot of profanity. It's
Yeah,
just
cuts
really,
deep.
It cuts deep, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Somebody's texted in here. I called my teacher a twat in year 3. Didn't really know what it meant, but I'd heard my dad say it about people he didn't like, so it felt fitting.
Yeah, usually comes from the parents. And it's always awkward when the parents get called in for the meeting with the teachers and they say, your son's
Where have they
saying
heard this
twat.
word?
Where have
Gee,
they
I
heard
don't
it?
know.
Oh, God,
TV.
that's baffling, isn't
I
it?
blame The Simpsons.
Yeah. Always blame The Simpsons. Morning, fellas. I'm originally from Victoria and my partner's from here and she hates it when I say Adelaide.
Adelaide.
I've heard a few people don't get around the Adelaide. Bit polarising here.
Another one here. Apart from the obvious words, I got sent off a social soccer match for calling someone on the other team a limp noodle after I scored a goal on him.
Yeah, not the worst thing you'd hear on the soccer pitch, I'm sure.
Nah.
So here,
Strange one to get sent off for.
work in retail and said a pair of shoes looked ugly on a bloke. He kicked a fuss. I just wanted to save him from buying the wrong pair from Will.
You can't say that.
Honesty is the best policy, I guess.
Wouldn't you just be like, hey, why don't you try this pair?
there
Don't be
might
like,
be a-
wow, they're ugly on
There
you.
might be a better pair for you. Yeah, there's other alternatives for sure.
Let's wrap things up here. I was doing a presentation in Year 8 Science, said orgasm instead of organism in front of my entire class. Being an all-boys school, did not live that one down.
Someone did that in my Year 8 science class and I have not forget it. People do not forget that stuff.
Hanging out with Tom and Callum. I reckon there's no better feeling than receiving an extra item with your food delivery.
Oh, sure. When you get an Uber Eats, they, get some Asian food, they're slapping a few more spring rolls.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. You get a couple of you get a free nuggets or something.
Great stuff.
Get a free drink.
Nah.
It's the best feeling in the world because you feel like you've cheated the system. And it happens so rarely that when it does happen, the first thing you do is you brag. Right? You tell your friends. You
Go
say-
straight to the group chat. Boys, you'll never believe it. Free dim sims. It must be my lucky day.
Well, one bloke is fuming about his extra bonus item that came with his Domino's. Posting to Twitter, he was disgusted by the thought of receiving a free pizza cutter with his
Right.
pizza. So he got a pepperoni pizza. Pizza cutter's been left on top of the pizza. He's disgusted by the idea. He's so upset. Obviously a mistake because the pizza was already cut. So it's not like they gave him the pizza cutter to be like, cut it yourself.
Yeah. So it wasn't an insult.
No, no.
You do it.
No. The pizza was pre-cut. They've left the pizza cutter in there, and this dude is livid. He's
Why is he complaining? Does he think it's dirty or he just doesn't know where it's come from?
no idea. He's posted to Twitter saying, why the hell did you send me this? I don't remember ordering this item with my double topping medium pizza. And then follows it up by saying, y'all better come get this pizza cutter before I sell it on eBay. Times are tough.
What are you doing? And
Why are you selling it? That's a good quality. You know that's a good quality pizza cutter. You know the amount of pizzas they're cutting. That's going to be one of the primo pizza cutters. I'm washing that and I'm keeping it.
It's a wild situation as well where you bring this to Twitter and, of course, this is going to hit the media storm all the way in Australia. Now you just look like an idiot.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, there has been a storm of comments on his Twitter post with people saying, man, you got to be more grateful. That's a free gift. Someone else saying, I'd love to get a free pizza cutter with my pizza. Another person saying, that's better than any toy you'd ever get with a Happy Meal.
Geez, all these fights over this one pizza cutter causing the destruction and chaos for this guy's life. He is not going to be able to walk out the house now. Moving into a new neighborhood can be scary, a little bit daunting. You don't know what's around, who's there, especially in America. I guess there's those few spots that are a bit rough around the edges. You have a few gangs, things like that.
Yeah.
And this is what's happened with a couple that's moved to Chicago.
Chicago's big gangland territory too.
Yes, it is. So they're a little bit on their toes already. They've gone into this area there where there's a few gangs around and stuff like that. And they've come across this symbol that's all around their suburb. It's on their house. It's on street poles,
like
fences.
Graffiti.
Yeah, like graffiti.
Okay.
And it says TTPD. And it's done in kind of a graphic kind of way, a little bit like graffiti.
Right.
And it's everywhere in the suburb. And they're a bit scared by it. And rightfully so. They think it's,
like a gang sign or something like that.
Could be a gang sign or prompting a home invasion, targeting which houses have this symbol all across them.
Yeah.
And they're only new to it. So they posted it on social media being like, guys, what the hell?
What gang is this?
What is this?
Yeah.
Turns out it's a Swiftie gang.
What do you mean it's a Swiftie gang?
So it's just a bunch
Have they got their own tag now?
So this is how crazy the Swiftie gang has taken over the world. I mean, Taylor Swift has so many followers already, but yes, she has this group of cronies now. There's kids going around graffitiing, but TTPD is off. It's an acronym for our album, The Tortured Poets Department.
Right.
So that's what it stands for. And I feel like the telltale sign is that it's all done in chalk. They said, on our house, they've done orange chalk for this sign.
Swifties wouldn't break the law.
No, of course not.
They're Swifties, so yeah, chalk. It just rubs away.
But were they not looking at it thinking, what gang is, going back to kindergarten? Using the chalk.